So technology is evolving at a rapid pace, and large language models have taken center stage since the day ChatGPT burst onto the scene. So seizing this incredible opportunity, our dynamic project team, driven by Orthian, has harnessed this cutting-edge technology into our innovative project, Board, an AI-assisted onboarding system. So now, let's embark on an exciting journey to see how our project came to life. So in today's presentation, we will walk you through the total of 8 sections, showing different aspects of our project, starting with About Us. So our team consists of 5 members. I'm taking the role of project manager, product owner, and AI engineer. Juan, over there, is our front-end developer. Zui is our back-end developer. Ling is taking the role of both our scrum master and data engineer. And finally, Dang is our second data engineer. So as the project manager and product owner, I manage the project coordination. Oh, sorry, the mic is still on. Switch the mic. Hello. Sorry, I will continue here. So I lead the project coordination, maintain the product backlog, and also as the AI engineer, I manage the AI development and integration, and also customize AI flows according to project requirements. Quan is in charge of creating user-friendly interface, both the design and the user interaction, and also he ensures the seamless integration between the front end and the back end side. Moving on to Zui, he is in charge of our back end system. All right, ensuring robust data handling and server logics. Ling, taking the role of, first of all, the data engineer. He designed our database architecture and optimized on our database. Furthermore, as the Scrum Master, he facilitates the Scrum process and maintains the smooth workflow within the team. And finally, Dang, he collects, clean, and pre-process all of our data, and he also manages and maintains our database. Right, moving on to the project overview. So Orthian, like many other startups, are navigating the complexity of limited resources. So they operate under both financial and human constraints that hinder their ability to scale and meet the growing demands. This not only leads to loss of sales, but also customer dissatisfaction, which significantly impact their reputation. Furthermore, Orthian's employees suffer from the burden of time-consuming and repetitive tasks that makes their employees cannot focus on the value-adding activities that really drive innovation and growth. So from these needs, our project has established several ambitious goals. First of all, we aim to automate routine tasks, specifically for the onboarding process of the HR department, and reduce their workload by 25 to 40% through automation and semi-automation. Furthermore, we would like to automate the onboarding process inside employees by developing a tailored internal onboarding to improve the process efficiency. So from these goals, our project has traveled through 5 phases and 15 sprints in total. Starting from the project proposal on October 2023, where we're formulating our user stories and conduct feasibility studies. Moving on to the upskilling, resource selection, and design phase, where we prepare the foundation of knowledge, design, and data for the 2 development phase. Then we go over to the development phase 1 and 2, is where we showcase our increments and products for our client. And finally is the handover and defense preparation from May to June 2024, where we hand over the project to our client and we prepare for today's presentation. So this structure timeline ensures a successful delivery of our project.
Thank you. We now move on to the design phase of this project. This crucial stage started with in-depth research. We analyzed project requirements, explore relevant tools, technologies, and gather information on best practices. From that, we identified key technologies such as LangChain and OpenAI language model, which would later play a pivotal role in our development process. This foundation helped us understand what we needed to achieve and how to approach the project efficiently. Next, we conducted empathy interviews. These interviews were designed to understand the clients and potential users' needs, pain points, and expectations. The insight gathered from these interviews were invaluable, providing us with a clear understanding of the user journey and problems needed to be solved. After getting to know the user, we developed persona. Persona is fictional character representing the target users. The persona guided our design decision, ensuring that our solution remained user-centric and addressed user needs. Here we have on the screen is a persona for Emma, the new employee who needed support and guidance when entering the company. With a deep understanding of our user, we moved on to defining the main features of this project. Key features included an interactive onboarding process, a chat conversation with AI, dual language capability, an interactive onboarding quizzes, and a performance review system. These features were designed to streamline processes and enhance user experience, ultimately aiming to reduce overall workload and increase efficiency within the organization. Next, we moved on to design the system architecture. This software system is powered by OpenAI language model. It uses Fast API and Nest.js on the back end, Next.js and Talent CSS on the front end, and PostgreSQL for the data storage. The data pipeline uses LangChain to handle language model interaction and store embedding for easy retrieval. The system runs on Google Cloud infrastructure, using App Engine for deployment and Cloud SQL for managing database. The security is handled using JWT authentication and a role-based permission system. Finally, we developed hi-fi prototypes. These high-fidelity prototypes provide a realistic representation of the user interface and interaction, allowing us to visualize the final product and validate our design choices. This step was crucial in ensuring that our design is user-friendly and met our requirements before implementation.
Okay, now I will talk about the project implementation in this R&D project. The project approach is as follows. We have adopted the agile methodology for executing this R&D project, and moreover, we also tailor the Scrum framework to better suit with our unit circumstances. In general, the customized Scrum framework has 4 key elements. The first one is sprint duration. We allow flexible sprint duration from 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the number of the tasks. The second one is meeting schedule. We have team meetings conducted for every 2 days for every member to report progress. We also have supervisor meetings with the supervisor to receive guidance and make strategic decisions. And we also have plan meetings at the end of each sprint to deliver our lead work and get the client feedback. The third one is weekly report, which document our individual and collective progress. They outline accomplishment of the past week and set goal for the next week. Finally, we use a task management tool called Jira to track our progress, assign tasks, and manage our workload. This is a diagram presenting the idea of our workload. After making user story, we put them in the product backlog, and in the sprint planning, we select the items from the product backlog and put them in the sprint backlog. After that, we have the development sprint where we work on our tasks. During this period, we also have constant meetings for every member to discuss the current task every 2 days. After that, we have version of the product for increments, and we will deliver them in the sprint review session with the client and collect their feedback. After that, we have sprint retrospective, where we have an internal reflection on how we work the sprint and how we could improve in the next sprint. And if there's any change to the plan, we will modify and confirm by the client. If not, we will continue to the next sprint, beginning with the sprint planning as usual. Here's the table presenting our team contribution to this R&D project. In each sprint, we have the number of storage points and working hours. And in total, we have spent nearly 1,400 hours for this R&D project. Here are some of the task of our member. This is Kate, the project manager, product owner, and AI engineer. This main task is to initiate the project, gather requirements, and develop documentation. Here also the one that develop the AI side of the system. And he also prepared for the final project artifact. This is the data engineer. He's asked to review the database, design even data pipeline for vectorized and business data, implement data security, and develop service for embedding and searching about vectorized database. Dan is also a data engineer who works with Lin. His main task is to perform data pipeline on Google Cloud platform, collect data and document to update the database and optimize the data query. Wong is a front-end developer. His main task is to develop the front-end side of the system. He's developed UI for the application and also enhance the UX for the customer satisfaction. The final member is me. I'm the backend developer. My main task is to develop the backend API server. I design and implement Sierra UV API for features. I provide this API to the front end and also optimize this API for response time. Also refine the code, run some testing for enhancing the maintainability of the system.
Okay, so now let's move to the difficulties and how we solve those. Here are all the difficulties that our team faced during the project process. First, due to the complexity of the new technologies, it requires us a lot of time and as well as the effort to get used to it and to utilize it. So we have to created 2 upskilling sprints, which targeted in training session and hands-on learning. Secondly, when approaching this project, we have to have a deep understanding of the HR process as well as the onboarding process, which leads to the challenge in designing user-centric process. So we have to have a meeting to discuss with our clients how they want their HR as well as the onboarding process to be. Thirdly, the free tier OpenAI limited the resource that we have and the resource that we can use, as well as it caused some bottleneck and workflow disruption. So we have to ask them to upgrade the OpenAI to tier 1 service. Next is the miscommunication between our team members. Because this is the first time our team worked together, so there are some confusion about the task goals and the requirements and the dependencies of the task among team members. So we have to clarify all the task objectives together, and we have to promote the some of the main communication channels for our team. Moreover, I think this is gonna be the most the worst problems for our team that we have faced is the delay in data transferring. With the absence of our clients' sensitive data, impel all the development phase and prolong some waiting time. So we have to our data team has to prepare all the templates and tracks to enable the development phase without data availability delay. Moreover, the changes is in client's requirements, this is a little bit tough for us to do, so our project management has to create an extensive client discussion to update the user stories and requirements. Lastly, we face a limited code convention as well as the code structure experience. So we were unfamiliar with the refactoring and code organization, which lead to risk to code base quality as well as the maintainability. So we agreed to implement leader and formatter module, and we agreed to self-learning on our code convention and organization to be better.
So now we have high commitment. We have fully delivery full functionality of our app. And with our first version, we focus on the overall design of seamless onboarding process, including we we developed the secure login for admin control panel and user easy to access. What you can ask every question about company their information depending on your role and specific level in the company. And what also provide you the personalized and streamlined onboarding process because the template we have provided. And as a staff, you can receive tasks, check your progress, and do all the assignment before the deadline. Now, come with the version 2, we have focused on the further development for employee and insight for management. Firstly, as an admin, you can provide the personalized guidelines for employee, and you can also check your employee progress by the admin dashboard and have more better decision making. We also provide application of generative AI, including AI feedback and goal suggestion for staff. Now here is the whole flow that we have designed and developed. Now coming with what we have learned, as you can see that at our system architecture, we have learned various state-of-the-art technologies, including front-end, back-end, AI to the core system, working with better and designated database with integrated the retrieval augmented generation system. We also work as a strong team with a lot of enhancement between communication, collaboration. We also work with high commitment and adapt to any change that the client requires. Now, beside the promising development of bots, we still have some limitation. That is the lack of new hires. We don't have enough data for checking and measuring the actual effectiveness bot for Orthian, and bot only support internal onboarding procedures. Therefore, in the future developments, we have decided that continuously enhance the UI for better user experience and more engaging for during onboarding process. As we know that with this enhanced engaging, we also improve the overall effectiveness of onboarding process. We also want to expand more personalities, not only for onboarding process, but also for other departments like marketing, finance, and for sustainability development, we also refine our system architecture, and by those refinement, bots will leverage their reasoning to the next level. And now here's our demo for our final product.
Onboarding assistance app incorporated with AI features. This app will support users when they are on the onboarding process of the company. Let's dive in and see how we can use it. First, we have to sign in using the manager account provided by the company. The first function is chatting with the chatbot. Because we are in the manager account, we can ask about all the project's information. For example, I will ask the names of all projects in the company. You can also add feedback to the received answers. The next feature is about onboarding. First, click on the onboarding tab. In this view, you will see a list of onboarding plan. Click the button Create New Plan, then choose the file that contains information of the onboarding plan. This includes the name, list of tasks, and descriptions. And the file will look like this. Because it takes time for the server to make a new plan based on the file information, we have to wait approximately 5 minutes for the plan to be generated. Now, we'll go into the front end and turn on onboarding plan created before. You can see tasks defined in the plan. Click on the Add Task button. A pop-up will appear and allow you to add new tasks to the plan. And the tasks can be different in types. If you create a quiz task, the quiz content will be based on the company information stored in the system and created by AI. Click on the Enroll User button. You can add users to the plan. Next, move to the Documents List view. In this view, you can see a list of users in the plan with their submitted documents. You can also view the details of their document. The manager can also view the progress of each employee in the onboarding plan. For each employee, we can see the number of completed tasks and give score to them. There are also criteria of employees' attitude and performance that the manager can evaluate. It includes attitude and effort, work quality, teamwork, cultural fit, etc. For quiz or projects tasks, we can give feedback to them manually or get feedback from AI suggestions. Next, we will move on to discovering the guidelines page. This will contain all the guideline templates in the system. To create a new guideline template, click the Create button. You can also view the sample format and then design your own content based on your goals. After having the file, you can use it and upload to create a new guideline template. Let's discover the guideline template detail for the front-end position. In this guideline, we have a list of trainings and guidelines for the employee. Besides the content included in the file, there are some guidelines that are AI generated. By clicking the Enroll button, we can enroll employees into this guideline template. The next view is Dashboard, which contains performance statistics about the system and employees. This helps the manager have a comprehensive look about the overall cost or time spent by users in the system. The next function is Create New Account. First, you have to fill all the information required for an account. Then select the role, department, privilege. There's also a storage for the manager to import the information about the company into the system. These information will be then embedded and used for AI features of the system. To upload the file, click the Upload New Documents. Choose the file you want to upload, folders, and privileges that can access to the file's content. Now let's show you how the information used by the AI when I import the file into the storage. I will go back to the chat page and ask what is Chloe. The system cannot answer because it doesn't have any information about Chloe. Then I go to the storage and import the information about Chloe project. Now let's see how the system answered the question related to Chloe. As expected, it can retrieve information from the storage and answer to us. The system also supports Vietnamese language. If I click the Vietnamese button on the sidebar, most of the content will be translated to Vietnamese. Now we will move to the next part, which is the employee view. Let's see how employees use the system. First, log into the employee account provided by the manager. Like other employees, you can ask the chatbot about general information of the company. However, if you ask information that can be only accessed by the manager, you will be rejected to be answered. By clicking the tab Onboarding on the sidebar, you will access the onboarding plan that you are assigned to. At this view, you can see a list of tasks on the right sidebar. Click into a task to view the task detail, which includes task name, type, and description. For task type of Notify or Self-Check, click the button marked as complete to finish the task. There are tasks that require you to submit documents. And tasks that require you to do quizzes. In the quiz task, you have to give at least 5 correct answers. Otherwise, you are required to retake the quiz. After completing the quiz, you are navigated back to the onboarding page to do the next tasks. Move on to the guidelines page. In this view, you will see all the guidelines and trainings in the guideline template that the manager assigned you to. For users who have completed all tasks in their onboarding plan, they are allowed to see the overall score and use the goal suggestion function. The overall score is marked 70% by the task scores and 30% by the evaluation of the manager. The final function is goal suggestion. In this view, you can request the system to suggest goals after the onboarding process. You have to type your preferences and constraints, then select the appropriate time frame and current workload. The employee can follow these goals to develop their career path in the company. Hello, today I'm going to introduce the word.
Right, thank you for listening. Right, we're open for questions.
So the documents you are uploading, what do they include? Project files?
Yeah, service, policies, personnel, key personnel of the employees. Currently, and also they can also check on their onboarding process as well.
turn this into a commercial product where any company would use that to manage their onboarding process?
So I believe that it needs a more modular approach. So first of all, one thing that I would like to implement, and we didn't have a chance to implement, is the evaluation process of the generation from the large language model. So I can show you over here. Okay, see the appendix. Sorry, we have a lot of slides, so give me a second. Not that. All right, so evaluation system. So currently we are working on a manually evaluation system. First of all, we create a list of data sets, for example, a list of questions. Then we walk it through LLMs to receive a response. And then we manually check whether it's relevant or accurate to the context that is provided with the question, as well as the question. And all of this, we work with a tool called Smith. But in the future, if we want it to be more commercialized, that is what we will suggest Orthian to test out. Oh, sorry. So we also achieved 95% on response relevant with 200 test cases for questions. All right. So further evaluation that Orthian can test out includes 3 sections. First of all is retrieval, which includes context precision and context recall metrics. The second one is generation, when the LLMs output the response. They can evaluate using the faithfulness metric or the answer relevance. And finally, there will be a solution that they can evaluate end-to-end comprehensively as well. So let's talk about the first solution, which is context precision. So this is calculate the precision of top K chunks retrieved by our LLM, by our operations. So you can see that precision is calculated by taking the true positive divided by the true positive plus the false positive. So true positive just means that inside that chunks, the number of chunks that are relevant to the question that they ask, and false positive just means that in the retrieval chunks, which one is not relevant. And then we take the total of all of those precisions and we divide it by the total of relevant items in the top K results for multiple questions. So this is the first way that you can evaluate the process. Second way is context recall. So in this case, we will measure the system ability to retrieve all relevant parts of the context. So for example, when you ask a question, you would like all the necessary information will be taken to push the LLMs for the response. So the formula here, we will take the number of ground truth, which is the true sentence that can be found inside the context, and we divide it by the number of actual sentences that contribute to that ground truth. So for example, we have a question, where is France and what is the capital? And the ground truth is France is in Western Europe and its capital is Paris. So a high context recall will mean that the context includes information about France being in Western Europe and mention Paris as its capital. And a low context recall will be the context only talk about France's geographical features and history, but does not mention its capital, for example. Moving on to generation metrics. So Orthian can also implement, for example, the faithfulness metric. So in this, we will identify a set of claims from the generated answers and cross-checking all of these claims with the given context to determine the factual consistency. So in this case, as you can see, the formula will be number of claims can be inferred from the context and divided by the total number of claims in the generated answer. So, all right. So for example, with the question where and when was Einstein born? The context is Albert Einstein, born 14 March 1879, was a German-born theoretical physicist. So a high faithfulness answer for this will be Einstein was born in Germany on 14 March 1879. And obviously you can see over there, a low faithfulness answer is that they given the wrong information, where they say Einstein was born in Germany on 20 March 1879 instead. All right, another metrics that you can think about is the...
So sorry, there's a lot of metric here.
Yeah.
What did you apply to evaluate?
All right, so I already said at the beginning when I talk about evaluation is that we are only implement the manual evaluation at the moment. These, because we have much more user stories and requirements to take care of, we didn't implement this, but these are further evaluation that we proposed to the client to actually implement so it can bring the app to commercialize.
So for example, when you evaluate and we have the result of some metric here, so how can you improve? So are there any plan if the metric is low, so how can you improve the system?
How can you improve? So first of all, it depends on the metrics actually. So for example,
So for example, the recall is quite low, how can you improve?
the recall is quite low. So okay, let's go back to the recall. All right, this one. So the recall, all right, just talk again. This is the ability to retrieve all relevant parts of a context, right? So when you're trying to retrieve all relevant parts, which means that there must be a lot of chunks that related to that text. So there are some strategies that I already implemented. First of all, we can lower the number of chunks that's taken out, so it limited the number of unrelated chunks when it respond to the LLMs. So first of all, secondly, I believe so. Our app have dual language, right? The users can ask in both Vietnamese and English. So in this case, for example, if they ask a question in English and the relevant chunks, even though that the similarities taken is in Vietnamese, then the LLMs will say that it's irrelevant to the question because it's in different language. But so the solution there is that we translate all of our input documents to both Vietnamese and English, and then when they
That's okay. Thanks. I know about theory. Now back to the system architecture. So can you show the system architecture?
system architect, can you just click on the slides on the clicker?
Yeah. So you use the Rust flow.
Yeah, Rust.
Right here. So now you explain how can you increase the recall.
Improve the recall.
Yes.
I have a more detailed wrap flow. Do you want to look at that, or just?
Just on this screen. So the model here, the Rust flow here. That means you upload a document.
Yeah.
In the Rust flow, and it will analyze the token. Right? So how can you review the relevant token like you already set to increase the report?
Use the irrelevant or relevant?
Yes.
So you want to reduce the irrelevant tokens, right?
Yeah, you set up to review the
Yeah,
report.
yeah.
Yeah, how can we do it with the framework like this?
So actually with the framework right here, as you can see it's quite small, so it won't show you everything of this RAP framework. However, to improve, yeah, as I already said, we have to add more data in first of all. Additionally, you can implement more ranking mechanism. So not only semantic search with cosine similarity and stuff, you can also look for entity search to search more than the similarities to retrieve more relevant chunks. And also, we also have the cutoff, like what I said. So for example, you limit the number of chunks can be sent to LLMs. So they won't send like 10 or 20 chunks, which 5 of them are unrelated at all. So those are some of the strategies that I can think of right now.
So what is the name of the Rust framework you use right now?
It's a very basic one. I don't know the actual name, but yeah, we just call it retrieval augmented generation.
So I mean, you set up you build it from the scratch?
Yeah, we built it from scratch. I can show you the. Can you go to the wrap image, please? At the end, appendix. All right, so this is our wrap flow. We built, definitely from the beginning by LangChain. So first of all, you have the documents. All right, you separate it into chunks, and then you embed it. We use OpenAI 8.2 model to embed the documents. Then we put it into a vector store, in which we use PostgreSQL and PG vector. All right, and then when the user asks a question, for example, what are the company services? Then the question will get embedded using 8.2 again, the model. And then we will use semantic search. Specifically, we use cosine similarities to search for relevant chunks. Then we rank the results based on the similarities, also with the language as well, and then we put it on the LLMs and then provide the answer. So we built all of this by ourselves using LangChain. Is there any other question?
That's okay.
All right. All right. The performance evaluation for the LLMs or for the whole application. Whole application. The response time. Yes, we actually do we have the performance screen up here? Yeah, we actually employ the checking for the response for all of our LLMs response as well. So we track the average and also we also show up on the performance view of the admin, so they can also view like how long each of the category of the AI flows respond. So, yeah, we are.
We have been second, around 8 to 9 seconds. And we have enhanced a lot of AI flow and wrap to the generation strategy in order to reduce the initially performance was about nearly half minute, then reduced to 8 to 9 seconds. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Is that all? Yeah, OpenAI API, specifically GPT 3.5 Turbo. All right, is that all? All right, thank you.